Hello, fight fans. This is my review of the upcoming event, the UFC 276, going to be headlined by Israel Adesanya against Jared, the Killer Gorilla Cannonier. After last week's event, it was clear that any other event from the UFC had to topple or top whatever subsequent events that are going to come in, because the fight between Gamrot and Saryukin was an epic one. So this weekend we are expecting a lot more from these guys. Fight fans can't get enough. So without further ado, we want to go into the various fights, right from the preliminary card to the main card. This fight is loaded from beginning to the end. So I will just quickly pick on some of the fights that interest me here. In the preliminary card, you have starting this fight, this event, Brad Tavares against Dricus du Plessis. That's in the middleweight category. We all know who Brad Tavares is, a very, very tough all-out fighter, very, very durable. He has had a long experience with the UFC, and he's going to go against the very, very determined Dricus du Plessis. Dricus is a South African fighter who was fighting in the Extreme Fighting Championship in South Africa for a very long time. He's a former champion, and he has done very well. I think this will be his third fight in the UFC. His first two fights didn't go too far. I think he finished his fights in 2 rounds. So now he's going up a real challenge in Brad Tavares. So that is going to be very, very interesting to see. So I think, in my opinion, I think du Plessis is a very, very tough fighter. I'm sure he's going to be able to weather the storm of Brad Tavares. Tavares is a bit measured at the beginning, but du Plessis has very heavy hands. So I give that fight to Dricus du Plessis, say in round 2, round 3. That should be gone. Ian Garry, the welterweight division. Ian Garry against Gabe Green. I don't know so much about Gabe Green, but his record says he has 11-3, 11 wins and 3 losses. But Ian Garry has 9 wins and no losses. Ian Garry is a well-rounded fighter. This guy is dangerous everywhere. He's very durable. So I see Ian Garry winning this one. Then we have the fight of veterans. That's Jim Miller against Donald Cerrone, Donald Cowboy Cerrone. In fact, these guys are what you would, the definition of veterans, right? They both have over 50 fights on their record. So Jim Miller is coming in with 34 wins, 16 losses, and 0 no contest, while Donald Cerrone is coming in with 36 wins, 16 losses, and 2 no contests. So I want to believe Jim Miller has the edge on this one. I want to take Jim Miller as the favorite on this fight. Then the main card for the preliminary card, the main event for preliminary card is Brad Riddell against Jalen Turner. I like Jalen Turner. I think this guy has a lot of potentials. The spider guy. So he's going up against a very tough opponent in Brad Riddell, an Aussie who never gives up. I've seen Brad Riddell's fight. In fact, the guy is a warrior. He's a born warrior. So even though I like Jalen Turner, I think Brad Riddell will get it done. Okay, now to the main card. The main card is a very, very interesting card from top to from the beginning to the end. Is super, super exciting card. One of the fights was cancelled, fight between Michelle Tate and Lauren Murphy. So yeah, that would have been a fight most fans would want to see, but we still have more. Now, the first fight on the main event will be Pedro Munos against the very, very dynamic Sean O'Malley. Everybody keeps saying Sean O'Malley has not been tested. He's fighting against they call it Cans, fighting against Cans. I don't think so. Sean O'Malley is super talented. He has only one loss in his record, 15 wins, one loss, which up to now he still doesn't. He doesn't agree that he has won. He lost that fight against Chito Vera. So Pedro Munoz is a very tough opponent. This guy has been in the game for a very long time. He's very, very tough to finish. So I still see Sean O'Malley winning this one. So I give it to Sean O'Malley. It's probably in the third or fourth round. Okay. We have the welterweight fight between Robbie Lawler, a former champion, against Bryan Barberena. Bryan Barberena is a rugged guy who goes all out with everything he's got. He is like a street fighter. Robbie Lawler is also a forward-moving guy who is a very hard puncher. He has seen it all. I think he has more experience. The fight will be won by the guy who is more focused, the guy who has his head in the game right now, because Robbie Lawler has been going through ups and downs in his fight career. I want to believe that he has straightened up his training, and he has been coached mentally. He's mentally strong for this fight. So I would go with Robbie Lawler on this. Then we have the middleweight fight. This is where it gets a lot more interesting. We have Sean Strickland against Alex Peireira. This is going to be a very, very tough fight. Sean Strickland is on a, I think, 5 or 6 fight win streak. This guy stands tall. He has one of the purest boxings you can ever get from a fighter. He has a very awkward style of fighting in terms of boxing. And he's very tough, In as much as I don't like Sean Strickland, but this guy is super, super tough. So, against Alex Peireira, this is one of the toughest dudes on the planet in the middleweight category. This is the only guy that has beaten Israel Adesanya twice in his career. One time, unanimous decision, and the second time via a knockout. So, in his last fight, he was truly tested, and he came out successful. So, I see a very equally matched fight because Pereira does not have so much experience, while Strickland has been in the game for a while. So, a little edge to Sean Strickland. I want to think Sean Strickland will get this done. It could go the other way, but I want to see I think Sean Strickland will get it done. All right, now to the co-main event. Alexander Volkanovski against Max Blessed Holloway. This is a big fight. In the featherweight division, Alex Volkanovski and Holloway, they are going head-to-head for the third time. This is unprecedented. Well, not unprecedented because Cannonier has done it with Stipe Miocic, and I think John Jones as well. So it's not unprecedented, but yes, it's a fight that will have a lot of eyes on it. So Volkanovski has improved so much in the last 2-3 years since the first fight with Max Holloway. And Max Holloway has done the same, So Volkanovski has been a lot more active as against Max Holloway. My heart says My brain says Alex Volkanovski pulls this off. He wins for a third time. But my heart says Max Holloway, for the fact that this guy is super dynamic. He's a former champion, and the beating he has been given to all other contenders, not scored or not named Alex Volkanovski, has been tremendous. So I would say, because of my heart, I'll go with a Max Holloway. This time around, let's just say he gets one done, gets one by Alex Volkanovski. All right, finally to the main event. Israel Adesanya, who comes in with 22 wins, 1 loss, which was to a light heavyweight champion, against Jared the Killer Gorilla Cannonier, who came down from heavyweight to middleweight and then now fighting in the from heavyweight to light heavyweight and now fighting in the middleweight. This guy is a strong fella. He has one of the best punches in the game, one of the best knockouts. Is just a strong guy, right? He's coming off a win against I think that must have been one of these very tough guys. He came off a win. I can't remember his name now, and he's going up against a very dynamic fighter in Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya is no easy nut to crack, no easy puzzle to crack. Izzy is very elusive, he's very fast, he's one of the best strikers in the game, while Jared Cannonier is known to be very durable and extremely patient, and he goes forward. So we are going to see firecrackers for this one. I'm going to go with my boy Izzy. I think Izzy gets it done. He's going to do what he did to the likes of Paulo Costa. He's going to do what he did to who else? I mean, he has had very tough Paulo Costa, Marvin Vittori. So Izzy has the advantage on this, and I give it to Izzy. So you guys check out my predictions, and after the fight we have more talks. Thank you guys. Enjoy UFC 276.